Hi friends, so welcome to all. In this video we are going to configure the Telnet service. Also we are going to see telnetting into multiple devices simultaneously. Also we will see checking telnet connections, checking telnet users, also closing telnet sessions. Before coming to our configuration, friends, if you like to get my future uploading video info directly into your Gmail, you can subscribe this channel. Coming to the configuration, first of all we will build a small network. Here we will use a router 2911, also some switches 2960 switches, also some edge devices. Now we will rename these devices. Here this router we will give us R1, this switch is S1, here we have S2 and S3. Now we will connect all these devices using copper straight through G0/0 to G0/1, G0/1 to G0/1, G0/2 to G0/1. Also we will connect all the PCs to the switch. Right. Here we have 3 networks. We will highlight those networks with different colors. Here we can see one network. Here is another one. And here we can see the third one. And for this network we are going to use 192.168.1.0/24. Here we are going to use 2.0 and this is 3.0. Also we will change the network. This is network 2. Now we are going to configure this router first, R1. Configure terminal. First of all we will set the host name as R1 and we will set the interface IP address gigabit Ethernet 0/0, and here we will set the IP address, the first usable IP address 192.168.1.1, also the subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and no shut command. Now we will go to the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1, IP address 192.168.2.1 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. no shut command. Now we can go to the next interface, that is G0/2, and we can set the IP address, that is 3.1 and no shut command. Here we can see all the interfaces are up. Now we are going to configure these switches S1, S2 and S3 so that we can be able to access the switches remotely using Telnet service. So we will give a virtual interface IP address. First of all we will configure on this switch S1. Enable configure terminal and we will set the host name as S1. Now we will go to the interface VLAN 1 and we will set the IP address. Here we are going to set the last usable IP address from each network, 192.168.1.254, and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and no shut command. Also we have to set the default gateway, IP default gateway, that is 192.168.1.1. Copy running config, startup config. Now we will come to the switch S2. Enable configure terminal. We will set the host name as S2. Now we will go to the interface VLAN 1 and we will set the IP address 192.168.2.254 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. No shut command. And now we will set the default gateway 192.168.2.1. Copy running config, startup config. Now we will come to S3. Enable configure terminal. We will set the host name as S3 and we will go to the interface VLAN 1, IP address 192.168.3.254 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. No shut command. Also we will set the IP default gateway 192.168.3.1. Copy running config, startup config. Now we are going to configure all these PCs. Desktop IP configuration 192.168.1.10 and the default gateway. Here is that. Now we will come to PC1, desktop IP configuration, and this is 1.11 and here is a default gateway. Now we will come to network 2 into devices, coming to PC4. Here we will set 2.10 and the default gateway 2.1. Coming to PC5, desktop IP configuration, it's a 2.11 and the default gateway. Coming to network 3, desktop IP configuration, here we are going to set 3.10 and the default gateway 3.1, right. And coming to the next desktop IP configuration, it's 3.11 and the default gateway. Here the basic configurations of all these devices we done it a little faster because many times we have seen the basic configuration of all these devices. Here we are going to see the concept Telnet, which is nothing but the virtual terminal protocol. So this allows connections to remote devices. Anyways, we are not going to talk more about the theory part, we will see that later. Here we are going to access this switch S1 with the help of any other device from other networks. Suppose we are going to access from this PC4 using Telnet. So here we are going to use command prompt and here I am going to give the command Telnet and simply I am going to press enter. Here we can see we have to give Telnet then the target. So here we have to get the IP address of the switch S1. We know that. We are going to give that Telnet 192.168.1.254. It's trying and here we can see connection to this switch closed by a foreign host. Here we are unable to access this switch S1 with the help of this Telnet service because obviously we have to set VTY password, or we have to set no login command for this switch S1. For this switch S1 I am going to use this no login command, and be able to access this S1 using Telnet service without any password. Coming to S1, we will configure that. Enable configure terminal. Here we have to go to line. Here we can see VTY, that is virtual terminal, and here we can see first we have to specify the first line number. So we may have a doubt what is this line number. Anyway, we will see that. We will give 0, and next is the last line number, we will give it till 15. So we have total 16 line number here. Now we are in specific configuration mode. So here we are going to give a no login. That means login using Telnet without password. Copy running config, startup config. Now we will try to access this device S1 using Telnet through this switch. Coming to S2, enable. Here we can give a Telnet and then the target address, that is 192.168.1.254. Here we can see it didn't prompt for any password. It directly get into the switch S1. We given Telnet from S2, and here we can see now we are in S1. Here we accessed this switch S1 using this device S2 using Telnet service. Here we are going to exit from this device using this exit command. Here we can see closed by foreign host, and now we are in S2. Again, here without using Telnet, only we can give the IP address of the device which we need to connect. Here we can see 192.168.1.254, and I'm going to press enter here. Here we can see now we are in S1. Now what I am going to do, I am going to exit from this Telnet service without closing this session. So for that we should not give the command exit. Instead of that we are going to press Ctrl Shift 6, then we are going to press X. Here we can see now we are in this switch 2. Once more I will repeat that shortcut. We have to press Ctrl Shift and 6 together. Then we have to release these 3 buttons. Then after we have to press the button X. And one more thing we have to keep in mind. When we press Ctrl plus Shift plus 6 and then this letter X, we won't see any of that because it doesn't show on the screen output. Now what we are going to do, we are going to see that session what we created on this switch S2. We will see that using the command show sessions, and here we can see that details. Here we can see we created one session and we did not close that. So here we have to keep, we were talking about that line number. So here we have seen one line. So in this way we can create here 16 sessions to this switch S1, and we cannot create more than 16. Also, if we observe this show session output, here we can see a star symbol which shows towards this number 1. So that means this 1 was the last session that we connected. For more clarification, what I am going to do, again I am going to telnet to this S1 using this S1 IP address. Here we can see that. Now again we log into this S1. Here we can see that. Now we will press again Ctrl Shift 6 and X. Now we are going to give show sessions, and here we can see now we got 2 sessions, and now we can see the star points to this connection, the line 2. So in the same way we can give 16 sessions. So here again we will give the next session. and here we can see Control Shift 6 and X, and here we are going to give show sessions. Now we can see it's 3. Once more I will give Control Shift 6 then X, show sessions. So here we can see that now 4. So here we have to keep in mind we are coming out of this Telnet without disconnecting from the session. If you want to disconnect, we have to give the command exit. Now here we can see we are in this switch S2. Here I am going to press enter 2 times so that we can see we will get into the last session what we done here. So we will give that, we will press enter 2 times. I pressed once, and here we can see resuming connection 4. Here we can see that because star is pointing to 4 to this 192.168.1.254. that means S1. I am going to press enter once more, the second enter. Here we can see now we are in this S1. Now here we can see the show sessions output. I log in using Telnet 15 times into the switch, that is 192.168.1.254 without disconnecting the session. Now I am going to create the 16th session to the switch S1. Here we can see that. Yes, we done that. Now we are going to press Control Shift 6 and X, and here we are going to give show sessions, and here we can see now we got total 16 lines. So we used all the 16 sessions. Again I am going to use this Telnet service to the same switch, and we will see what will be the result. Here we can see connection refused by remote host because all the 16 sessions we used. Now what I am going to do, I am going to access this same switch S1 using another device. Here I am going to use this PC4. Coming to command prompt, and we will try to access that switch using Telnet. Here we can see that connection refused by remote host. We cannot create any more sessions. We will come back to this S2, and here we can see we used all the 16 sessions. Now we will exit from one session. So once we press enter, we will go to this 16th session. We will see that. Going to press enter here, and here we can see resuming connection 16 to this switch. Here I am going to exit. We have to give the command exit, and now we are going to give show sessions, and here we can see now we are in 15. We got one more session. Using that session we can log in from any device. Suppose I am going to access from this desktop. Command prompt, here I am going to give Telnet 192.168.1.254, and here we can see we are getting that switch. Be able to access. Now we are going to create a VTY password for this router R1. Enable configure terminal. Line VTY, here we have to give a first line number, that is starting from 0, and here I am going to give the last line number as 1. That means we can create maximum 2 session, 0 and 1. We cannot create further sessions. And here I am going to give the password. Before that I am going to give simply login, because it will show some message here. Here we can see login disabled on line 388 until password is set, and we got 2 messages because we given for 2 lines. So we have to set the password. Here I am going to use the password as CISCO. Then we are going to give the command login. Now we will try to access this router using any device. I will use this switch S3. Enable 192.168.1.1. Here we can see it's prompted for password. We given the password as CISCO. Here we can see now we able to access this R1. Also, I will try to access from any other desktop. Coming to the system, command prompt. Here also we will try to access this telnet 192.168.1.1. Password is CISCO, and here we can see we able to access this R1 using telnet. Suppose again I am trying to access this R1 using any other PC. We will try that. Telnet 192.168.1.1. Here we can see connection to this router closed by foreign host because we given only 2 line. So in this way we can telnet into multiple devices simultaneously. Once more I will show that on the switch AS3. Here already we are in R1 from this switch AS3. So without closing this session, so we have to go back to S3 by pressing Ctrl Shift 6 then X. Now we can see we are in S3, and now I am trying to access this switch S1. We are going to give the IP address 192.168.1.254. Here we can see we are in S1 now. Again I am going to come back without disconnecting from this session. Ctrl Shift 6 and S. Here we are going to give show sessions. Here we can see those 2 sessions what we created on this switch S3. Here we can see that we connected to this router and to this switch. Also, here we can reveal all active consoles and VTY ports in use on our switch or router with the show users command. So here I am going to give that show users. You will see that users use here. Here we can see that display information about terminal lines. Yes. So show users. Here we can see the details. Here we can see the output of show sessions. I created more number of sessions here. Suppose we wanted to remove a particular session, how we can disconnect that? Suppose we want to remove this session 4. We can remove with the help of disconnect. Here we can see that disconnect, and we have to give the number of an active network connection. Suppose we want to give disconnect this the line 4. Here we have to give that number and we have to press enter. So closing connection to this switch S1, confirm. Yes, again I am going to press enter, and here I am going to give show sessions, and here we can see now we can see only 8 sessions. Previously it was 9. Once more, coming to our show sessions output, here we can see a session to the router and all other sessions are to the switch S1. Suppose I want to remove this session, the 7th session. Here we have total 8 sessions, so we are going to disconnect this session that is which is connected to the router R1. So here we can see the line number 7. I am going to give that here 7. Confirm connection to this router. Yes, it's confirmed. We are going to press enter, and now we will see show sessions. Now there will be only 7 sessions total. Here we can see that. So the session to the router is removed, I mean disconnected. Friends, so one thing we have to keep in mind, here we given multiple sessions to this switch S1 from this device S3. So nobody gives this number of sessions to a single device. Here we made this only for teaching purpose and for understanding the concept of Telnet. Well, in this video we have seen how to configure Telnet. Also we have seen how to Telnet into multiple devices simultaneously. Also we checked Telnet connections. Also we checked the Telnet users, and we have seen how to close a Telnet session. Friends, if you have any doubt in this video regarding Telnet, please comment below. Also, if you like my video, give a thumb and share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel so that you will get latest uploading video info directly into your Gmail. Thank you.